Okay, well, yeah, we can start this next topic. So today we are going to learn like how the Jenkins administration works. So till now we understand how the Jenkins setup is there and what are the different type of operations are there, how to create job, freestyle job or pipeline based job. What is Jenkins file? What are the different ways of the integrating Jenkins file and the shared library concept as well, correct? So all these particular things we have learned. Also, we learn like how to build the Maven project, how to build a Docker project, what is the Blue Ocean pipeline view, from where we can install plugins, how to check the Jenkins log, or how to do the login into the Jenkins system. So all these things we have learned. Then the next part is as a DevOps engineer, what we should aware about like setup is important thing, correct? So as a if you are the DevOps engineer, you should be aware about the setup. So this is an very essential thing. So for any particular tools, not only the Jenkins, for the any tools like Docker, Linux, or the GitHub, or the Jenkins, or the any other tools like Ansible or Terraform. So setup should be the very first step which you should be aware about. If you are aware about setup, then you can start integrating those particular things, start having the automation jobs for that, start having the CI/CD pipeline for that. Correct. And in that you need to be learn like different concept of the integrations. Correct. So now here with this today's session, we are going to learn like how the Jenkins administration handle, what are the type of challenges are there which is there for the every Jenkins administrator, correct? So you can imagine like right now I have did this particular setup. I have created multiple jobs with this, and these jobs are very low, correct? So these are like just six, seven Git repositories I have integrated there. Some of the builds are success, some of the builds are fail, some of the jobs are like freestyle based job, some of the jobs are pipeline based job, correct? We can create multiple jobs are there, but in case at an organization level what will be happen, this particular scale will be increased, correct? Right now I'm using or logging into just only one user, but in organization level you might have 500 application, 1000 plus applications or 1000 plus users are there who are integrating or who are interacting with your Jenkins setup. In that case, as an administrator, you should make sure that your setup is working fine. Your setup is not having any downtime. Your setup performance is working as expected. What is expected capability of your particular setup means how many builds you can give max in concurrent way. Correct. So all these things you need to be make sure that you are having support for that, or as an Jenkins administrator or as an DevOps engineer who is working on Jenkins, who has idea about all these particular details, correct? So you need to be maintain this correctly. So in case any particular issues notice, let's say developer is giving build and it's failing, you need to be check logs and you need to be provide fixes for that, correct? So there is certain process in organization. So let's say they create build, if that particular build pass success, they can deploy it. If that there is any particular failure, they will interact with the DevOps engineer team. They can create the tickets for that, correct? So some process will be there, and eventually, in case some error is there or some problem is there with the development process or the dev engineers, QA engineers, they will come up with the DevOps engineer. So here, DevOps engineer responsibility is to check that logs and identify like in which integration it's failing. Let's provide that particular fix, and if that is working fine, then assign that to the that particular dev owner or QA owner. So that is the process. So DevOps engineer need to be solve all type of issues which are there for the Jenkins. That issues can be anything, correct? So under DevOps, issues can be anything because you are interacting with the multiple tools. So here also we have integrated Docker, then Maven, then Jenkins, then access related part, then network is also there. If the network is not there, it will not work as expected. So network is very basic thing. You should have the required access for your particular application job, so you can maintain those access control as well. You should, as an administrator, you should also have the cleanup capabilities correctly, correct? So like if the builds are happening regular basis, it will increase your displays. You should have the cleanup for that. So we have seen like one of the example like how we can clean the older logs, correct? So build discarder related plugins we have checked in the previous session. So in that we are deleting those particular logs. All these things are there. So similar like cleanup, as an admin you need to be configure or create the new job, correct, where you can select the jobs type and create those particular settings. You can configure that with the particular owners or the user, correct. Then another thing is uh, you will have the blue ocean view as well. So here also you can create the new pipeline. So this is the UI view. You can also go on the this normal view or the classical view of the Jenkins. In under manage Jenkins part, this is the administration part, correct? So that access will be not happen with the every member. So you can have the multiple members in organization or the setup which you are working on eventually. But in this particular manage Jenkins, you will have the admin related access control. You can click on that and here it will showcase like which version you have used. So currently I'm using 2.481 version. Then with the every upgrade it will provide necessary information like this is new version is available. You can upgrade that, you can degrade those particular settings, vulnerabilities there. So all these things are there. Similarly, as I have mentioned, like all these integrations are supported by using plugins, and there are thousands plus plugins available for Jenkins. So Jenkins is open source platform and it's providing the support for almost all tools, correct? So like Go tools, Maven tool, Git tool, then Ansible, Terraform, Kubernetes, all these rated integrations available or Docker as well. So you can just go on the Google search like which use case is there, and based on that they have provided certain steps like you can install those plugins, you can uninstall those plugins, and you can choose the particular version, correct? So there are certain best practices you need to be follow while installing those plugins. So you need to have the backup of your Jenkins data. Then only once backup is available, then only try to evaluate the plugins, correct? Try to install those plugins. So once you have installed that, you can restart your Jenkins setup, correct? So all these things are there. So you can just use all these things. So here you can just search on the available plugins or anything. So let's say you need to be check the build discarder related plugin or the Maven plugin. Correct. So here you can see like enhance old build discarder related plugin. It will delete the unwanted builds or unwanted unstable jobs. Correct. Also, all these another plugins are also available. Correct. You can just search like Maven. So in that case, you will be get like all Maven related plugins as well. So all these things are supportable with this integration. Okay. So in case you want to check like Jacopo, which is code coverage related plugin. So that plugins are available there. Okay. So this is how means you can measure the code coverage, integrate that with pipeline. You just need to be have idea about how to install plugin, how to use that.
So
Correct.
plugins like as a it's are the dependency packages to run these applications on that Docker or in Kubernetes pods or something.
So you can understand like these plugins are like some installation steps, correct? So if you
Okay.
want to integrate anything, Jenkins is providing those particular option with UI integration, but making that particular available option there in the job, you need to be install that plugin, correct? Otherwise, it will not available. So let's say you want to send the email from the job, in that case you require email plugin. If you
Yeah.
want to have some Docker related installation or Docker related steps for the Jenkins, so in that case you need to be installed Docker related plugin. So don't go on the detail right now. I would say just start with the basic. Let's cover the at least setup related part and hello world related application build and deployment stuff.
Okay.
You will get this particular idea, but for now you can just understand these plugins are like essential thing which is required for your automation. So let's say you are having the Ubuntu machine with you, correct? And you want to run any particular movie on your operating system. What you need to be installed for that? You need to be install some player for that, correct? Like VLC player. So in that case, you are installing that. Then only you can start that movie or start that video, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, Mahesh.
So here the similar thing is there to achieve something. Some prerequisites are there, and that prerequisites are supportable by using Jenkins plugin. Okay, so you don't need to be add like code for that, or you don't need to be learn any internal things for that. You just need to be have idea about the plugin. Just install that, and once that is installed, you can just use that function. Okay, so Jenkins is providing out of the box all these features to you. Okay, clear?
Yes.
So this is plugins is playing very important role in the Jenkins. Okay, so you can see like what are the already installed plugins are there, what are the available plugins are there, which plugins have the upgraded versions available. So right now I have already installed some monitoring plugin, correct, which is Melody plugin. So this plugin is also essential thing for the having monitoring related stuff. And once you have installed that, you can able to see this Jenkins monitoring UI, where you can able to see like how much usage is there for the Jenkins, how much usage is there for the RAM or the memory related config, correct? All these details you can able to easily see, and this will help you in case of debugging purpose, correct? So if your application is running and it's not performing well, or it's performing with some lower usage or some lower performance, correct? Let's say it's not working as expected. In that case, what you can check, like you can check like how many users are using this, what is the RAM is there, what is the CPU usage is there, how the garbage collector is working or not for this application, and is there any uh, thread is blocked or not. So all these details you can able to check here, and based on that you can try to fix that, correct? You can tweak this. So this type of issues you may face during implementing this. So configuring job or integrating CI/CD, that is one of the important part for the DevOps. But another aspect is also very important, like having the backup for your Jenkins setup, having the correct best practices for plugin installation, having the cleanup related automation for your Jenkins setup. Correct. So, and having the correct access control. So, what will be happen if you give the root access for everyone in the Linux? What will happen?
Everything is accessible.
Everything is accessible. So this is like right now we are having one PM, correct? Like Narendra Modi is PM for our country. So he is having some rights for making some decisions about country, correct? So he is having all access. What will be happen like if we try to make every minister as a prime minister? So everyone will get access and they can take any decision, correct? So it will be like chaos. So same thing is there in the Linux, correct? So if you give the all access to the root user, or the every user give the access for the root, in that case, it will not work as expected, correct? You may face loss lot of challenges in that while handling that particular machine or system. So similar thing is there with the Jenkins as well. So you need to be have the correct access control. Root access or the admin access should not be with the multiple users. You should be handle that correctly. Okay, and that also you can handle by using these admin related things. Okay, so you can create the user, or you can give the access control like read only, write only, or the admin related access control. So admin is very responsible person. So he should have all idea about this. He can add the nodes as well. So right now I have added only one single node, correct, which is Jenkins, correct, or the master node. So similarly, like you can add the other nodes as well. So for that you need to be have hardware for that or the another machine IP address for that. So right now I am having some capacity, correct, for this machine like CPU or RAM. So similarly, like I can add multiple nodes as well. Okay, so this is part of the scaling your infrastructure, correct? You can also integrate it with the AWS and other cloud related system as well. So this is Jenkins is very powerful tool. It's giving all capabilities, correct? So scope of Jenkins is very huge. But in this particular batch, we are understanding like at least essential techniques or the mandatory techniques which we should have idea about. Okay. So from here, user, you can create the users, correct? You can have, let me create one user. Uh, DevOps match. Okay, you can create those things. Right now, I am adding some dummy entries. So here you can able to see like I have given or the created that particular user, correct? So here you can able to see this user is there. You can also have the token for that or the password related things, correct? So mm, so token is something you will be required in case you are accessing Jenkins related API, correct, for any particular configuration. So you can utilize that. So right now, let's say I am doing logout. I want to use another user. I can use that. Previously, I was using admin user, and now I am using the DevOps user. Okay.
So
So
where
now
we created this user in configuration.
in manage Jenkins
Okay.
users. So
Man.
in manage Jenkins in users.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You can create
But
it. You can delete it. Okay. Clear?
yes, yes. Also
Okay.
provide the access as per their requirement. Correct.
Yeah, you can provide the access as per the requirement. It's correct. So in security, there is that particular option like you can provide access control. Like it's also giving like project based security or matrix based security. So let's say you want to add some user level access control, you can add some access control. Let's say I want to add admin related access control only for admin user. Okay. So admin user is already there, okay, that I have created with required access control. Another user is current user, okay. And here I don't want to add any access control for that. Let's say I don't want to add admin related part, okay. I will avoid to add the create, update, or the configuration access as well. Correct. I will give only build related access. I will avoid like update, create, or delete. Okay. At job level also. Okay. Configure access also I am not allowing. Okay. Clear? So this is how you can manage access. So right now you will be able to see like for this particular access, I cannot go in manage Jenkins. Are you able to see? This option is not there for me right now
Yes, yes.
because I don't want to give admin related control to all users. Admin should be only one single person or the two person who is very responsible for the setup. Okay. Everyone should not install plugin. Everyone should not create the job. Everyone should not configure the settings. The person who is responsible for that particular setup, who is responsible for administration setup, he should only have the admin related access control. And who can set up those particular guidelines? DevOps person need to be set these particular guidelines, or DevOps architect needs to be set this particular guideline. So learning DevOps is one thing, but rolling out DevOps with the best practices, this is also essential skill set in the organization industry. Okay, clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, so user management part we have seen, and now let's say if I am doing admin login, I should be able to see manage Jenkins thing. Okay, clear?
Yes, Mahesh.
Now let me go with. Okay, so here I didn't have access for creating job itself. Okay, I didn't have access for configuring this particular job as well because I have restricted those access control. I can just give the build for this. Okay, I am not able to give the build itself as well because I haven't given all access to all these particular jobs. Okay, I am not able to do the configuration. I can just only give the build. So this is normal access for the developer engineers or the QA engineers, correct? They can just provide the builds. They cannot modify anything. Are you getting this? How you can implement this? Yes or no? Access control part.
Yes. User access, user creation, and how to give the access control to the user using
Yeah.
Manage Jenkins. Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Okay. So access part we have learned. Monitoring part we have learned. User management part we have learned. Creating job part we have learned. Correct. Then there are this is blue ocean view, correct? And this is the classic view. In both view, you can build it. Correct. You just need to be go on those particular things. You can also restart from the last particular stage as well. Correct. So let's say here the build process is there. You can restart from the build. You can restart from the test. Okay. You don't need to be build it again and again. So based on the scenario, in case you just need to be redeploy application which is already deployed, so you can just restart from that particular stage. Okay. Okay. So let me showcase one of the example. Hmm. So right now, okay. So here the build is happen, it deployed, correct? And now you want to just redeploy that particular pipeline again. You can just provide this option restart from that particular stage, so it will skip previous stage and just only deploy from that particular stage. Okay, are you getting how the restart works?
Yes.
Okay,
So
so it will skip previous thing. So in case you want to just perform particular step, so some scenarios like you just need to be run automation, you just need to be run the test. In that case you don't need to be have the build again and again, or you just need to be deploy certain things. So
so
same code base should be there. So you can just restart that particular stage from the UI.
okay, so it is used if any step is failed and we remove that error means we remediate that error and restart the deployment from same step. Correct, Mahesh?
Yes, it's correct. So in case like code is required, you can give the new build. But in case you just need to be have certain particular step, you can achieve that as well. Okay. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And this is related to administration part, means plugin and all we learn. Another thing is related to backup, correct? So for backup also multiple things are there. Like you can also have the zip copy of your Jenkins setup, or uh, you can have the SCP for your setup. So currently means all the Jenkins data is available in the Jenkins home directory, correct? And this data is having like some uh, particular 1.6 GB data, as I have created multiple jobs and it's every job is having Git repo code. So this for storing that it requires some certain size for that particular machine, and that's why that size is with 1.6. So you can create the zip file for this and you can copy it on another server, correct, by doing simply SCP. So this is one option to have the backup of your setup. So while doing any administration related stuff, you need to be have the backup for that in case you are installing new plugin. First, very first step is you should have the backup for your machine, because this particular setup is never expecting downtime. In case downtime is there for the Jenkins, what will be the impact? Anyone explain me what will the impact if your Jenkins setup is down?
So all the build processes and deployment processes has been stopped.
Yeah, and what will be the indirect impact of that?
The application has been down that time.
Yeah, application, not actual production deployment will not down, but
Mm.
build and deployment part will be hold. And every
Yes.
engineer, no one can do anything. Like developers cannot do anything, QA cannot do anything. So there will be total chaos, correct? So if you are taking like let's say 5,000 users are there with an organization, and your for 1 hour Jenkins is down. So you impact for that like 5,000 work hours related ROI will be there in that case, correct? So no one will be work for their giving builds and deployment. Okay, so that is the impact. Means stability impact is very high if the any day of setup is down. Not only Jenkins, if the Git is down, Jenkins cannot take the pull for your setup. If the Kubernetes is down, you cannot deploy your application. If the Docker registry is down, you cannot push the Docker registry. So impact for the particular tool is very high. Any particular, not only Jenkins. Okay. So
So
stability impact is also we should have the idea about.
so that time we restored that the backup.
Yeah, in that case, you should have the backup mechanism, correct? So, and Jenkins is providing those capability as well. So there is thin backup plugin, and by using that, you can just do this backup and restore things. So you can create the backup. It will create the backup for your machine. You can do settings like what will the backup directory, what will be the scheduler for that. You can add the cron expression like with the every 5 minutes or with the every 2 hours I should be have the backup for my machine. Create certain backups with particular name, and from that, once you are having the backup file with you, you can just restore that. Okay, so in the restore you just need to be select certain that particular directory and perform the restore thing. Okay, and what is doing this thin backup plugin? Okay, thin backup plugin. So right now I have already installed this thin backup plugin. That's why this option is there. In case you are doing fresh restart, so I think Pratik has did this Jenkins setup. You will be able to not able to see this thin backup plugin because you haven't installed that. To install that, you need to be go in the plugin, okay, and there you need to be search thin backup. Then only it will be available. Okay, clear? So right now I have already installed it. That's why it's showing there. But this is how means I have installed from this location. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start having means backup and restore mechanism also. So this is also very important thing considering administration part. Okay. Another thing is you can run the scripts as well, correct? So let's say you want to run some scripts. Okay. So you can have the Groovy script based format there. So you can achieve any automation by using script. So let's say I want to print this particular thing and check the my setup is working fine or not. I can execute it and it will showcase output there. Correct? It will showcase all plugins which you have installed in your application. Okay, so it will showcase this. Then another thing is, so let me showcase. There are certain particular Groovy script I have tried out. Okay, so in case you want to check all available jobs or the active user sessions, that particular things we can also execute. Okay, okay. So in case you want to abort some any running particular build, in that case also we can run the script. So let's say you are having 1,000 plus builds already running your setup, correct? And there will be some stability related scenario. In that case, you need to be about some already running build, correct? So what will be the option? In that case, you need to be go on that particular build and kill it, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
In like
Yes, yes.
multiple builds are running and some stability issues are there, you need to be off your build. In that case, we will use this UI option, but that is not feasible, correct? In case more builds are there. So in that case, simply automation is you can just go on this particular script, add this particular thing, and you can just run it. Okay. So it will execute it and it will showcase like particular build is aborted. Here you can see like this particular 11 number build was in progress. Now it has killed this. Okay. Are you getting?
Okay. So using the script, we kill that
You can
process.
you can kill that particular running process.
Mhm.
Okay. Got it? Yes or no? So this is
Yes.
about correct.
Mhm.
So this is how means you can run the script, and this is not only one script, correct? So Jenkins is having so many scripts. So and this will be you will get easily. So I have just showcased one of the example for aborting the field, killing the particular job, correct? So in case you want to kill some particular jobs for your application which is in the queue, correct? So that also you can kill from the Jenkins, this Groovy script related automation. Then other things are also there. I will not go in very detail, but yeah, means multiple things are there with the Jenkins. So you can monitor it, you can have the script based configuration, you can have the Groovy based configuration, and then you can just configure all these things with the Jenkins and use this whatever you want in that case, correct? Like based on the use cases. So you just need to have this particular idea. So right now I have covered just hello world thing or the basic setup thing, so that you will have this particular idea and you can run those things correct easily.
Groovy have two types, Mahesh. There are.
Groovy will not have two types. Jenkins file syntax is having these two types, like syntactical syntax, and another type is also there. So that is like Jenkins file related types, not for the Groovy. Groovy is just an language, correct?
Okay.
Groovy is just like a programming language. Okay, clear?
Yes.
So this is the syntax for the Groovy. All these pipeline related code is the based on the Jenkins file related thing. So you can have these are some examples. Correct? In case you want to retrieve Jenkins version, you can just copy this and run on this. Okay, and that UI will be available on the Jenkins script. And I want to check the Jenkins version. I will paste it and run it. Here I will get like Jenkins 2.434 is added. Okay. Similarly, like I want to get the Jenkins URL, I can execute the Groovy and I can get all these things. Okay. So this is like how the script-based automation work in the Jenkins. And using script, you can automate everything, correct? But based on the use case, you need to be finalized. Like you need to be create job or you need to be configure the Groovy script-based automation. Clear? So let's say I want to get all jobs in the Jenkins, correct? So let's say I want to have some reporting information and someone want like how many jobs are available there from your team. So you can just execute this and it will print all the number of jobs or the URL. Okay. Okay. Are you able to see this job name, all job names? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Jenkins is having vast scope. I have just given some initial idea to you, but this initial idea is very essential to go with the advanced related thing. Okay. If you are able to achieve this, you can automate any DevOps related cycle, any particular job, and you can able to solve any use case. Right? Let's start with those particular assignment. This is very important thing. Okay. So all these technical content is available on this devopslover.com. You can just search on this and based on that you will get uh, this all idea. Okay, pipeline integration for the Jenkins file and other details are also there. So deployment automation, then Jenkins or the interrelated questions, multiple things are there. Okay, so you are talking about this, correct? Scripted
Yes,
pipeline and
yes,
declarative pipeline.
yes.
Okay,
This
so
pipeline.
this is like pipeline related diff. The Jenkins file related syntax. So two types are there, scripted and declarative. Okay.
I think declarative is using in current days.
Yeah, declarative is something which we have explained, correct? So here that declarative pipeline is something with the shared library, correct? We can achieve those particular things with the generic way. So that we have learned. And you can add this scripted pipeline as well. So both is having same functionality, just only some difference is there. So declarative pipeline is having more benefit, like you can have that with the shared library as well, and multiple things are also there. So you can just like having some variable to make that particular calls, correct? Which we learn in one of the example. So based on that, you can make it with generic thing, and that is something giving more option to integrate that particular pipeline. Declarative is having more best practices as compared to scripted, but syntax wise it's not having very difficult thing, correct? So it's having mostly similar, just some minor syntactical changes are there. Clear? And
Yes.
nowadays means mostly declarative pipelines is used. Okay. Yeah. So any concept in the DevOps or cloud. So I have added like 200 plus blogs here. So you don't need to be go on another any sources, coding courses or any particular thing. All things are available there. Any interview questions which is asked in the DevOps related thing or cloud related thing, which is available on this DevOpslover.com. So you can just revisit this, start going with each and everything. So in some cases, you just need to be go through with that, correct? When you are doing practice, so you don't need to be go in very more detail. So if you just cover all these things, you will be get all these idea, correct? So I've added like multiple, not only DevOps coding related part as well, or Linux or QA automation related thing, placement studies for the beginners who are doing some initial studies as well. Okay, so many things are there for the learning. Let's go on that and start improve on your skill set. Go over on the from the basic you can start, and once you cover basic, you will learn the advanced thing as well. But basic should be clear, correct? Don't go on directly 10 step or 20 step. Start with the first step. Okay, and in some cases you can assume or you can have some issues as well with the setup or some difficulties will be there, but let's fight with that and get that solved. In case you face challenges, feel free to connect with me. Okay, I will be happy to support you guys. Okay, any questions on the today's topic? So today we have learned these things, correct? Like how the Jenkins administration work, how the setup works. Next session, so Jenkins is completed. I have given multiple assignments to you and mostly cover the all required topics in last 4 or 5 session. Next session we are going to learn very interesting topic which is Gen AI, correct? So I think most of the guys are aware about ChatGPT. Who is there? Who is not aware about ChatGPT? Anyone is there who is not aware about ChatGPT?
I think all are knows the chat GPT.
Yeah, so ChatGPT is giving all these particular capabilities, and you can just log in into the system and go on the particular UI, correct? So you can easily use those particular things, and by using that, you can use the ChatGPT, correct? So you can also have the integrations or the code base related thing with that. In tomorrow's session, we are going to learn like how to use the chat GPT for the DevOps related thing, and how we can automate, or how we can ask question to the GenAI or the chat GPT to solve our assignments or the problem statements, correct? So it will speed up you for the best understanding, and it will solve your problems with more accuracy. So that is also very interesting thing. So you should just know about which tools we should be use, how to ask the questions, how to get the problems, and this is just the AI platform, correct? So eventually you need to be work on your tasks. Eventually you need to be configure those things. So anyway, knowledge should be there. DevOps learning should be there. Setup should be there. All these things you should have the correct idea about. GenAI or these particular setup steps are only helping you to guide you, correct? All decisions you need to be take care. So GenAI will be just like helping hand, you can say, like in case you are blocked somewhere for identifying the commands or identifying some code base for the script automation or identify some concepts or dealing with some problem. This will just help you with some certain steps, and that you need to be adopt with you are trying to solve in this particular task, correct? So you will get particular task, you can ask the questions and it will give the answer for you. Okay, so that is just like shorten the path for the debugging, and it will be give you at least some guidance related stuff. So ChatGPT, I hope means everyone you are using this, but how to use this in DevOps, that is also essential skill. Okay. So tomorrow's session we will spend on that, and once that is done, we will start Kubernetes. Okay, clear? So now we are mostly done with the Jenkins related thing.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, guys?